Blog Talk Radio.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. This summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Put summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.
Welcome to a Friday night at the Pajama Party. I'm one of the hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Bonsoir.
You're very
Friday
happy this
night.
weekend, Miss Redwine. What's going on with you?
I am happy. I'm happy because it's Friday night.
And I'm actually woke. How about that?
Oh, sounds like a winner.
Yeah.
I got some new pajamas and I'm ready to party.
Mm-hmm. I bet. What you sipping on over there? That's probably what it is.
Who, me? Oh, it's
No,
the cocktail of the
man,
week.
you.
It's the cocktail of the week, the Bourbon Lancer.
Okay, all right. Now you're going to tell us all about it later, right?
Yeah, I don't usually do brown, but I'm liking this one.
Okay, all right. How you doing over there, Papa?
I'm doing pretty good, drinking on some Perrier,
Oh, okay.
And,
Trying to be French tonight?
Yeah,
oui.
I'm laying back.
You
Laying
switching
back
up
on the
us
sugar a
tonight?
little bit. I got to cut back on the sugar a little bit, doctor's orders, so I need to
Okay.
be respectful.
All right, I understand. Well, you might have switched over to tequila then. Ain't that much sugar in that.
Yeah, let me know which one got the less sugar. Let's do some research on the sugar content. Because I can read the labels on the...
My
I
favorite.
can read the labels
Tamarind.
on the juices. Really? Is that low on sugar?
There it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, they don't show the sugar content on the whiskey. I can see it on the sodas and the juices, but I flip the liquor around. All I see is what proof or what volume it is.
Yeah, how strong it is.
I know that's right.
Anyway.
All right. How you doing tonight, Ketel?
One day at a time. That's about what I can say.
Well, you sure can do two.
That's fair.
Okay. Some people do try.
You
Yeah, this is true. Some people do try.
Yeah,
All right,
sometimes
well,
I feel
let's
like
get
it's
into
not
it.
enough hours in the day, but I mean, I work it out.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of times I feel like it's not.
Yeah.
But all right, well, let's get into it. You got the rundown for us, Ketel?
I sure do. We got a lot going on tonight. We got our hot topics tonight. Big changes in the Miss America pageant? Really? No bathing suit and no something else. The gowns, I guess, or something like that. Why does Scott Pruitt still have a job? That's what I'm trying to figure out. White nationalists elected to local GOP office. Also, I hit it and quit it headline. Who is Alice Johnson that Trump granted clemency to? Also, Kelly Sandler leaves White House. Also, 2 guests kneel during White House event. SC manager pleads guilty to beating black workers. Philadelphia 76er president resigns. And last of our hit and quit it is future astronaut and daughter win 2 top honors from Library of Congress. What's popping with Poppa DD? Trump's pardon. It's going to be interesting. Our weird news tonight is Minnesota woman's nasty obituary. Okay. Liquid poo rains on woman and son sitting in car. And also, auto theft suspect arrested with monkey clinging to his shirt. I'm just saying with Redwine, who does that? Living for the City with Poppa DD. He got a surprise for us tonight. Also, more Hollywood wrap-up. I'm going to talk about a lot of interesting topics tonight. We'll get into it later. Cocktail of the week is called the Bourbon Lancer. Kiss It list and the last word. Sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be back with the hot topic.
I am Ketel from the original Pajama Party. If you haven't heard Pajama Party Show, you've missed out. We've got hot topics, hidden and quitted headlines, what's poppin' with Poppa DD, our weird news. I'm just saying with Redwine, living for the city with Poppa DD, my Hollywood wrap-up, of course, the cocktail of the week, and the world-famous Ketel list. And, of course, we can't forget the last word. We serve it up each week on the Pajama Party Show, and nobody does it like us. You can call us each week live on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 914-803-4306, or listen live at www.apajamaparty.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at apajamaparty.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I want to host Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel. Yo.
Hello.
Ketel over there jamming. She was feeling that jam. I know.
And Redwine.
Yes.
Bonsoir. Once again, bonsoir. Je suis Ben Rouge. Let's get that out there.
All right.
All right. Well, let's launch into these hot topics because we got a lot to cover.
Okay. Did you want to say something, Papa, before we start out?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I know we're going to cover this in our Hollywood celebrity segment, but Anthony, how you pronounce his name? Bourdain. You know, I'm so saddened by that story. I'm such a fan of his. You know. And I'm going to, in my, most of the night, my biggest turnover will be where are you in your life, you know, with your mature listening, with your mature understanding, with you just paying attention to the world. Because I think just like drivers out there in the street, some people are just blind, man. They just don't. You know, I'm riding in the street and people riding by you, you know, like 90 miles an hour, you know, and I don't get it. I don't know whether they enjoy riding, not understand the aspect of life, or maybe never been in a major accident and don't know the impact of a major accident or what have you. But when I say where are you, to see things like, to listen to a little bit of XM radio and to focus on people like, you know, Mr. Bourdain. This man was all over the world, like, just, I mean, he would be on the boat rowing down to Vietnam in a little rowboat, you know, to go to a little restaurant somewhere in the middle of the sweaty Alps of things and into a rainforest just to eat some food right out the swamp. I mean, it was just some unbelievable television, you know. And every week he'd be somewhere different, up in the hills of Thailand, in the bottom of Vietnam, and all over, everywhere. And to look at that and be so intrigued by somebody who has a heart, first of all, because to eat food of all kind of different natures, you got to have a heart to do that. You know, when you just dipping raw squid in something and just sucking that down, or just out there frying in the dirt and desert. I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, I just can't elaborate how much this man intrigued me with his braveness and his ability to just do anything when it came to eating in foreign places. It was crazy. He drank all kinds of beers and homemade wines, and he tried everything. Just unbelievable. God bless him. You know, God bless his family. God bless everybody that meant something to him, and he we really put our sympathy toward everything he stood for. What a wonderful show! I'm gonna miss everything about him.
Right. Well, if anybody didn't know, they found him unresponsive today in France. He was doing his Parts Unknown series from CNN. They found him unresponsive in his hotel room. So if nobody has heard the story, that was breaking news today. So that's what Poppa DD is talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Very sad.
Yep, it is. All right, but we're going to get into that article a little later, talk about mental health a little bit too. But on another story, the big changes for the Miss America pageant. It says the nearly 100-year-old Miss America organization has made a major change as part of an effort to refocus the pageant away from the contestants' personal appearance. Oh, really? And toward their goals and achievements. Oh, in seeking to remain relevant under a new group of women leaders, including former Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson, is looking to reverse declining viewership. Oh, that's the key. So this week, the board of directors unanimously voted to scrap the swimsuit event and replace it with televised interviews with contestants. The news was largely applauded by former Miss America, but not all. So while some former winners called the change long overdue, at least one argued that it has been a fundamental part of the pageant's history. So winners from 2013 and 2015 applauded and agreed with the change, saying you don't need to put on a swimsuit to prove your physical fit or beautiful, that you're beautiful. So the swimsuit competition dates to the founding of the crowning of Miss America in 1921. Wow. As a bathing beauty review in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The debate over the competition has lasted almost this long. Wow. Interesting. So what you think about it, Papa? What you think?
Well, I tell you what I think. And I think this, based on the opinion of males and females that I've seen, and I'm in agreement with them. I've heard some females on TV saying they want to watch some booty and things like that, okay? So it's not a sexual thing. It's just a traditional thing, you know? You just want to see how well people can upkeep their body and everything else, you know? I mean, I think that's part of it.
I think they're changing with the times, though.
Yeah, but no, I ain't got to do it at times. I think this goes back, this is just my opinion. This goes back to who's running it now, okay? The lady who's running it now, the one you was talking about. Remember the one, what's her name again? The one who's running things? Gretchen. Now, Gretchen was once a Miss America champion, all right? But Gretchen was caught up in a situation with Fox News. And she won an award. She won a lump sum. She's filthy, dirty rich now based on the lawsuit she got from Fox and everything else. Now, in order to upkeep with her lawsuit, she has to keep her nose clean as well by not dipping herself into the raunchy pool, so to speak. So she's staying 10 miles away from it because now she's paid. Now that bank account don't say, like maybe $10,000 no more. It says like 4,205,000. She's got to project the life and the image of what her bank account tells her to act. So therefore, she's doing that accordingly. And now, being the fact she's running things, recent winners are going down with her because they're trying to stay on the right side of right or right side of white or however you want to put it. And they're trying to agree with things too so they can stay politically correct. But in my opinion, this is only going to last for 1 year because male and females want to see some booty, some ass, some titties, and some shape and how you look and how you shake and how you move. That's how it's been. That's what you look forward to in a Miss America pageant. And it's got nothing to do with sex. Don't get it twisted. If you're going to win something, then you ask Vanessa Williams. That's part of you. If I was singing or dancing or anything, that's like telling dancers to dance fully dressed or telling track and field stars to run around with a, fully dressed. Track stars nowadays know to win. Hell, them girls out there with panties on anymore because everybody wants the best edge to win. If you're going to win, just like a football player, if you're going to work out on a Sunday morning and get yourself tight and the other dude ain't working out, he going to knock you on your ass. So if the other lady works out more, gets her body right, she ain't got to have a fat booty. She ain't got to have anything. She could be known for her legs. One could be known for her torso. One could be known for her breasts. People don't look at just one thing on a female in a bikini. Some people like the legs. Some people like the titties. Some like the ass. Some like the waistline. Some people like the back thighs or whatever. When you put heels on something, hell, everything look good. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's only going to last 1 year, and they're going to go back to it, I'm telling you, because there's too many people out here that got that desire to see some skin on a pageant. That's just my opinion. How about that?
What you think, Redwine? Uh-oh.
If I may.
She's politically correct.
No, it's not about being politically correct. I'm frankly glad they got rid of it. Don't joke yourself.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad they got rid of the swimsuit thing because I do feel like, you're putting women on display to be judged by their physical characteristics when a lot of that pageant, as far as the points, if you want to look at the point value of that, it was only 10% of the whole competition. So, I mean, while people may enjoy looking at that, you just want to see all that, go hang out at the beach. I'm saying I don't see why these women have to walk around in heels and swimsuits. Nobody does that in real life, for one thing.
But you're downplaying the situation.
That's my opinion.
But you're putting a sexual overtone on it.
That is my opinion, to which I am entitled.
I understand.
And all I'm saying is that in real life, women, in most cases, do not walk around in bikinis with heels. So to parade around in an unrealistic situation just to display how nice you may or may not look, I don't see the purpose of it other than to satisfy those that want to see it. And saying I don't see why they need to be satisfied.
I don't think the satisfaction, see, when you say that, you're contradicting Vanessa Williams, first of all. This woman had a banging body as well as a wonderful voice.
A lot of them do. And I'm saying that why put the focus on that? Focus on the talent. Focus on their knowledge. Let them answer the question about what would you do in whatever situation. Let them focus on their talent. If they sing, dance, play an instrument, do magic, whatever it is that they do, let's be entertained by that.
Right, but
that's just my opinion. I'm not debating it. That's my opinion.
That's why you said it was a percentage of the contest.
Right.
Because if somebody can't sing, then they got a banging body that may bring up their score. Because the person that can sing ain't taking the time to take care of her body. So therefore, you should leave that in there as another. And now we're going to judge on this, just on the clothes. And let me say another thing. As long as you ain't doing no bathing suit, you better keep that in Atlantic City. Because you take it to Vegas, it's going to be an empty room. Because Vegas people want to see some skin. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Probably
okay? So you ain't going to sell that non-baby suit thing in Atlantic City. But I'm just saying,
well,
it's not
they're talking about allowing women of other sizes, too. So if you start talking about larger women and all, larger women don't want to be parading around in heels and a swimsuit.
Well, then, see, you can't agree with all the...
I'm agreeing with them getting rid of the swimsuit competition.
We're getting rid of the tradition.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, and that's why the world is what it is today. That's why the world is what it is today, because we're getting rid of all the traditions that are going on, and we're letting the next generation take over from what it is. Like I said, the owner of that,
going to take over.
The one that runs it now,
is going to run everything.
The young lady that runs it now, Gretchen, is only being politically correct because she's got a ton of money, and she wants the money in the bank.
Opinion. Ketel, what's your opinion on this, Ketel?
I say let it ride. I say just. I wouldn't take a swimsuit because that's what it's about. That's why people watch it, male and female, like Papa said.
That's right.
It's just what it is. And then nightgown. I mean, not the nightgown. Listen at me. The gowns, and also that's why they watch it.
Mm-hmm. And when I saw them ask the different people, Ketel, sorry to cut you off. When I saw them ask a group of women in a crowd that.
I'm getting some feedback, Ketel.
Yeah, something's squeaking.
Sorry about that. Okay, my bad.
Okay, go ahead, Poppa DD.
When they asked a group of women how they felt, and when the women said that they want to see, the bodies and all that, and like I said, it wasn't even a sexual thing. It's just that they want to compare that to themselves. Because people want to look at TV as if you're looking at if you got a little weight on you, you're looking at TV and you say, wow, boy, look at that. Boy, she's got a nice body. And people got to take the sexual aspect out of it. And the lady, Gretchen,
I'm saying it's sexual.
Gretchen is trying to keep everything far away from it. She's dried up. She's a prune.
But
she's got 40 years on her, you know.
It's a board of directors.
Yeah.
I guess the chairman or something.
Yeah, let's analyze their age, honey, because something's going on.
Anyway.
Somebody done lost here. What do you call it? Testosterone?
Whatever.
Anyway. Yeah, that's a bad idea. It'll last for 1 year. I give it 1 year and it'll be back.
Okay.
It'll be back.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's your opinion, Ketel. Let it ride, huh? Leave well enough alone.
That's right. 2 against 1. We win. Bring it back.
If it ain't broke,
bring it back.
Fix it.
I think they should be topless. Anyway.
Oh, God. That's a whole other page.
Next subject. Let's talk about the Scott Pruitt. What's up with him?
Scott Pruitt.
Oh, Lord, he's a
If ever there was a hot mess.
He's a mess.
Picture in the dictionary, it would be Scott Pruitt's picture next to the definition of a hot mess. This man, of course, is the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency administrator. Now, he's been busted for so many things, but yet this man still has a job. And that's what I'm trying to understand. How can you be busted for all the stuff you do, but still keep your job? Now, he just recently got exposed for asking members of his 24/7 security detail to run personal errands for him. They do things like go get his dry cleaning, and one person reported that they had him, or that he had them, going around searching for his favorite moisturizing lotion that comes from Ritz-Carlton hotels. Now, this is what two people actually said anonymously, because I guess they don't want to lose their job. But he's also enlisted agency staff people to do things like apartment hunting, securing mattresses for his personal use, and now he's facing congressional scrutiny over an expanding number of spending and management decisions, which we already knew about, like that expensive door he put in his office and all this stuff. I'm still trying to understand, why does he need a 24/7 security detail? So anyway, the story goes on to talk about that federal rules prohibit public officials from receiving gifts from subordinates, which includes unpaid services, and that would extend into doing personal favors that would have some kind of monetary value. So again, I'm saying, why does this man still have a job? Now, the EPA issued a statement saying that Pruitt follows the same security protocol whether he's in his personal or official capacity. But that doesn't have anything to do with what he's been doing. I don't even know why they bothered to issue that statement. It seems irrelevant to me. But they do offer an explanation about him having this round-the-clock security, because other heads of government agencies don't. But he claims that he has security round the clock because of the unprecedented number of threatening comments, such as a group that this week tweeted out his home address in Tulsa. I'm like, okay, somebody found your home address and tweeted it out. So you feel threatened enough that now you need 24/7 Secret Service protection? I'm not following it. So that's just kind of the shenanigans that's going on. You know about him flying in first class and for short trips when he could have gone coach, which now he claims he only flies coach now, but this is now. He already got busted for the other stuff. And they said that this protective detail he has, all this security, it costs $3.5 million just in his first year in the job of taxpayer money. $3.5 million.
How much?
To protect this.
$3.5 million?
$3.5 million just on 24/7 security for 1 year for him so far. My mind is blown. Why this man still has a job?
You know, on the kissing list.
Please put him on the kissing list. You got your security people going to get your dry cleaning and whatnot. So apparently you must not feel too at risk if you can spare your security detail to go get your dry cleaning.
That don't make no damn sense.
It's crazy. And one of his, at least two of his staff people now have quit. I guess they said they want out of this mess before it gets any worse and the crap comes out of that fan and hits them. So the second one, Sarah Greenwald, she has, as of Wednesday, said she's leaving. She's going back to Oklahoma to work for the state government. She said, I got to get out.
Crazy.
Yeah, and the other one who quit was Million Hupp. Gave her notice her last day was today. She's the one that he had searching for multiple apartments and booking private travel and looking for mattresses that he wanted. Now get this one. He had her looking for mattresses that are only available at Trump International Hotels. And apparently he wanted one, so he had her trying to find some discount mattress or something. So she's had enough. The other one, Sarah Greenwald, she had enough. I'm just wondering, when is the Congress going to say they've had enough of Scott Pruitt?
And he still has a job.
Yep, still has a job. Go figure.
I guess they think it's okay. You know, the Donald Trumps of the world, they think it's okay, you know, for him to spend the money like that. But he's going to have to end up resigning, and that's what's going to happen. Once they say, quote-unquote, investigation, I resign.
That's what usually happens. One of the Democrats from Delaware already called for his resignation, but I guess that's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, well. So that's the continuing shenanigans of Scott Pruitt. Anyway, keep it moving.
He's a person who never had nothing.
So now he's trying to have it all.
Probably came up in a trailer park somewhere, some old backwoods, and now he can't believe all the luxury that he sees and has, and he's just like a kid in a candy store. But he'll be all right, because then this too will come to pass. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll land on his feet like a cat. That's what they do.
Yeah, well, that's with the public eye, but you never know what's going on inside. Anyway, I got a story here about this white nationalist who was elected to a local GOP office. This white nationalist, his name is James, how do you pronounce it? Oppus?
I don't know.
Ossopp. We'll call him Ossopp.
Okay.
James Ossopp is now an elected official in the Republican Party of Washington State. Over the weekend, Ossopp, he posted a Facebook photo showing a piece of paper confirming his election. Here's another person never had nothing, okay? He's showing a piece of paper he was elected as a GOP official, you know, because people just ain't getting out. And he's in the corner of the world where nobody cares about, you know, the corner of Washington State. Anyway, piece of paper saying that he was a GOP precinct committee officer for Precinct 129, which is in Whitman County. It's almost like an alderman position. And he's flying high because he was able to take all his racism in there with him. So the precinct committee officer is certainly not a high-level official, but Whitman County Facebook page calls PCOs, as they call it abbreviation-wise, the backbone of the Republican Party. They elect the Republican leadership in their communities, according to another Washington GOP county website. Also, who graduated from Washington State University, so he's all Washington, he's all in. He graduated from Washington State University in 2017, where once served as the chairman of the Washington College Republican Federation, and was an advisor in the Students for Trump group on campus. So they had a Students for Trump group. Anyway, Ossopp is outspoken about his anti-immigration, anti-Semitic views. He's viewed on his YouTube page showing that he marched in the Unite the Right white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia last August. He attended a free speech rally in Washington, D.C., and last year that he was a featured speaker, including in a white nationalist leader, with Richard Spencer had him as a one of his main speakers, one of his featured speakers. So anyway, this is a racist white dude up out of Washington State, just to put in slang terms, that got a little political office up there in Washington State, and he acts like he's the president up there. I'm sure he's arrogant, belligerent, and everything else that comes with that type of attitude. And he's up there raising hell. So remember the name. His name is spelled ALLSUP. Remember the name, because this boy is gathering little pebbles, and he's going to turn to rocks. And by the time he get to D.C., it's going to be bricks. So watch out for his little ass.
What's his first name? I'm putting him on the kiss it list.
His name is James Ossopp. ALLSUP.
Got it. You're on the Kiss It list, James.
He probably likes to be called Jimbo.
Oh, Jimmy.
Bo.
Jimbo.
Yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
Jimbo.
that's his story.
Well, if y'all got any questions about Jimbo, hit us up tonight, 914-803-4306, right? Go press 1. Okay, no more cocktails for me. Put the bottle
Cut
down.
off. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and come right back with the Hit It and Quit It headlines on the Pajama Party Show. Be right back.
You're in the right place at the right time. It's the Pajama Party. www.apajamaparty.com. Produced by DC Homegrown Entertainment. Don't just sit there yelling at the air. You've got an opinion? We want to hear it too. Dial 914-803-4306. That's 914-803-4306. Don't let us have all the fun by ourselves. We've got room for you at the Pajama Party. And remember, it's PJs only, no clothes allowed. Operators are standing by. Well, they're lounging on pillows, but they're waiting for your calls. So call us now, 914-803-4306. Now back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party. Oh, you want to throw pillows?
Welcome back to the Pajama Party Show. I just stole the mic from Poppa DD. This
All
is
right.
Redwine. I'm here with Ketel.
All right, hello.
And Poppa DD.
All right, I'm back. So.
Yeah, I stole your mic.
Anyway.
Anyway, Hit It and Quit It headlines. We have. I'm going first. I want to talk about this lady, Alice Marie Johnson, that was recently pardoned by 45. This is the lady who Kim Kardashian got involved with and I guess facilitated this whole thing. So anyway, Trump granted clemency to Alice Marie Johnson, who's a great-grandmother, who was sentenced to life in prison for nonviolent drug charges. And she got out just 1 week after Kim Kardashian West visited the Oval Office to discuss the case with 45, Mr. T. That's the other Mr. T with the orange hair. The news of the clemency was first reported on Wednesday, and Johnson, who's now 63, originally was arrested in 1993 and convicted of a drug conspiracy and money laundering in 1996. So she became involved with cocaine dealers after she lost her job, and her son was killed, and she and her husband were divorced, and the home was foreclosed on. So, she had all of that going on, and I guess, I don't know, maybe out of desperation, she did what she thought she had to do to try to make some money, and, of course, she got busted. So she was serving a life sentence without any parole. That seems kind of harsh for a nonviolent crime, but, she does say, yes, I know I did something wrong, but, it was a bad choice, and it cost her life. And then she had a video that Kim Kardashian saw, and just felt like it was unfair, and she decided to make it her personal case to try to help this lady. So Kim involved a lawyer named Sean Hawley to work on getting clemency for Johnson and Centoya Brown, who's also serving life in prison for a murder that she committed when she was 16.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, the other person, Centoya Brown, is said to have shot this 43-year-old man because she was afraid for her life, and she was a victim of sex trafficking. So at the age of 16, if this person was, had kidnapped her or whatever he was doing to involve her in sex trafficking, she shot and killed the man, I guess, to protect herself. So it sounds like self-defense to me, but yet she's in jail for life.
Mm-hmm.
So Kim Kardashian West is trying to help her as well. So Miss Johnson said that she became a model prisoner and had the support of the warden and other government officials in her bid for release. And so it all worked out. So she ended up doing 20 years. So she's very grateful to Kim Kardashian West and also to Mr. 45, and said that Kim literally helped to save her life and restore her back to her family. And she's saying that now she's going to do all she can to help other people that are in that situation. So congratulations to Miss Alice Marie Johnson. And I hope the other young lady, Centoya Brown, is able to get out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be nice. I thought it was only just her. I didn't realize it was somebody else also. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, some of these cases.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry about it. But you know, some of these cases we got to really look at with a grain of salt. You know, we have to look at them down the even line from the beginning, especially the ones that are murder and the ones that got high drug. When I say high drug, I mean people that are distributing, you know, that were cocaine traffickers and stuff like that. You know, these people was in the middle of some heavy stuff. You know what I mean? Heavy illegal stuff. Even though the time may not have matched the crime, but we can't let them out and act like they didn't never do anything. You know what I mean? We can't walk on the side of denial, because especially when you kill somebody. When you kill somebody, you was under a trial with peers and jury and everything, and the jury saw the fact that this lady murdered that person. It's not about the man, woman, the situation, circumstances. It's actually what the jury concluded in that particular trial. And you have to understand why and the evidence and everything else. You can't look at the backstory and look at the outside floating aspect and say, well, wow, well, maybe that person's still dead. You know, still dead. And we have to look at this. If you don't know the circumstances, you can't 20 years later say, well, she's an angel. You know, she's a murderer.
Oh, nobody said that.
She was a murderer.
Nobody is saying that at all.
Well,
I'm just saying that if someone is forcing a 16-year-old into a prostituting life, and she shoots this person trying to get away from them.
Well, how do you know that's the story?
That's the story that was given.
Yeah, but you didn't. Well, you should go read the transcript of the trial.
And I'm not her defense attorney.
Well, I'm just saying.
telling you this is the information.
Well, no, I'm not trying to.
So I'm not saying whether it was right or not, but I'm saying if that is true, then I do think that would look like self-defense.
Well,
now I said if.
You have to read a transcript of the trial and get the real story.
The magic word is if.
Because I guarantee you that Trump will let people go on a drug thing, but he ain't gonna let nobody that murdered somebody go. I'm yet to see that.
He got bodies buried.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. I don't think you're gonna see him letting it go. That Lena, you talking about? I don't know. That's a little more evidence reading to find out whether or not that was a scoop. Because
well, you sound like you're condemning her, and I'm saying that if it was true.
I'm looking at the truth. I want people to be let go.
Oh, you read the whole thing? You know?
I didn't read it all. I'm just saying that.
Well.
He's dead.
You already throwing the dirt in the hole.
He's dead and she's alive.
And I said if. Anyway, what were you about to say, Ketel?
Yeah. No, I wasn't commenting. I'm just quiet. I'm just trying to understand what the hell is going on.
He's dead. He's dead.
Crazy.
I can understand the drug thing, you know, especially the marijuana thing. Somebody been in jail 20 years for marijuana, let them all out. You know, but people have been there for crack selling and heroin and cocaine. Those are a whole different type of drugs. Right there, you really, you know.
And I'm just saying, if it's self-defense, then that's a whole.
Yeah, but that murder thing is a whole nother. You need to put that in a whole nother ball game.
Well, that's why I said. I keep saying if. Capital I, capital F. If it was self-defense, then it should be reevaluated.
Right.
Well, that's true.
If she shot him in the what? Butt?
If she shot him if she shot him in the back or the back of his head, I mean, you know, maybe he had a chance to get away. If she decided to, you know, but like I said, that's a horse with another color.
Anyway, go ahead, Ketel.
That's true. I was going to say about Alice Johnson that her term as far as 20 years to life or 25 years to life, just for that. I'm not saying it was petty, but it's just, I just feel as if they put her on a different platform. They put her as the, like, quote unquote kingpin. I think sometimes that they just want to just get somebody and leave them in jail to rot instead of getting the bigger person. I think there was somebody bigger than her. She was just running the drugs for that person. And, you know, they letting that bigger person go and say, okay, we're going to give you 25 years of life, and that bigger person is gone. You know,
that's true.
They claim that she's the head pin, the kingpin. I don't believe that. And she said, I believe she is really going to be an advocate for people in jail for that long period of time for that particular thing that they did. If it's drugs back in the day, let it be 10, 15 years and let them get on with their lives. That's back in the day. That's little penny-ante stuff. Now you're legalizing marijuana and stuff like that, this petty stuff that they were pushing. You know, so they got to reevaluate some of these cases that people did 25 years to life on a marijuana charge. Really? Give me a break. This is...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, I think in the future, a lot of things need to be reevaluated. There's a lot of stuff. So I won't elaborate, but there's a lot of things going on today that are outdated. There's a lot of stuff that's people need to look at a little stronger, look and see who's really responsible. Because when you see these different, you know, as an example, you know, different teachers running away with the students, you know, these different cases have been popping up with that. Soccer teacher run away with the such and such, you know, and when they go to capture the couple, all of a sudden the adult is arrested, but the child is able to run back to the mother, but the child ran off with the teacher. So I'm trying to figure out how does the child get to make that transformation? You know, I don't understand, without having any responsibility of the situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as long as they're underage, they'll say, okay, we capture you, you go back to your mother and you go to jail. Well, she may have been the aggressor in the relation. She may have, you know what I'm saying? You can't downplay, because these kids are mature as hell these days. You know, I'm not saying that's the situation, but if she didn't go away, if she didn't run off in handcuffs with him, then, you know, you got to see whether or not, what the hell really went on with that. You know, she could have been just as aggressive with him on the run. But then when he come back, you know, oh, you can go back to mommy, everything is cool, but you're going to jail. I don't know.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. You know what I mean? So you can come back and put those curlers, thin curlers and rollers in your hair. Anyway.
All right. Everything copacetic over there?
Yeah, red wine. She farted. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
all right.
What else you got, Ketel?
Kelly Sadler, might have put on the kisser list, leaves White House, unclear if related to backlash over the McCain comment. Of course. Kelly Sadler has left the White House, where she served as a communications aide. She has left. Kelly Sadler is no longer employed within the executive office of the president. Really? It was unclear whether Sadler's departure was specifically tied to her comment about Arizona Senator John Kane's brain cancer, which triggered widespread backlash. They were in a roundtable discussion, and somebody told it. I mean, come on now. How do people talk like that? That have respect for themselves or that person. I'm sorry, she should have what?
Oh, I said she needed to go anyway, and I think that's what it was about. They just wanted to lay low and make it look like, oh, she just left because she was going to do something else.
I agree. So it also goes on to say the news of Sadler's departure came shortly after Fox News learned that several White House communications staffers were informed in closed-door meetings that a major purge of their ranks was imminent. No, boy, really?
Use the word purge?
Yeah, they called it a purge. They said heads
neither
about the
Sadler
roll.
nor the White House issued a public apology for the remark, even after it attracted widespread condemnation. Sanders reportedly called McCain's daughter, Megan, to privately apologize. Really? He should be apologizing to him, not the damn daughter. Shit, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with these damn people?
I wish I knew.
These people are crazy. Something's really wrong with them. They just don't know what to say out their daggone mouth.
How can anybody, the way we don't know, we know we all going to die, we just don't know when. How can anybody living say that anybody living that he about to die when you can go out there and get hit by a damn bus? And,
Well, she was just insensitive and rude. Right,
but I'm saying, what my question is, how can anybody say that somebody's about to die? Hell, how many times have the little young girl with the old man outlived the young girl?
Mm-hmm.
Because she all on drugs and he's 90 years old and he's just trying to get his feet rubbed, And she taking money from him and buying her drug, and all of a sudden she croaked of a heart attack from the meth, and he done buried 3 little young chicks.
Oh Lord, you and your scenarios.
Anyway.
Okay, well, I say goodbye to bad rubbish on that one.
Yeah. Anyway, next in the news, the Philadelphia 76ers, their president, he was actually the president of basketball operations. He resigned. Just like a typical rich person, this man, his name, what was his name? Brian Colangelo, or Colangelo?
Yeah.
Brian Colangelo. He was he was the president of basketball operations. Like typical rich people, he got about 4 or 5 phones and 4 or 5 anonymous Twitter accounts, and like most people do, I guess some people do undercover. So he's sending out different tweets based on how he felt about players and his own players and all. I guess some people just got to get stuff off their chest inadvertently. I don't understand it. I don't know. Sometimes if you got too much on your mind, you always got to get something off your chest. I don't know what's up with that. But he's sending out tweets saying one of his players was this and that, and I don't know why I don't know why the Sixers paid that much money for this guy when he got bad feet, and sent all these tweets about his own team, and come to find out it was him. Because after a while, it kind of caught up with itself because your transportation and your numbers and your what do you call the thing on the computer, your routing number, it's all going to get back to you after a while. Somebody could investigate and say, well, where's that name come from? Who's that registered to? Because when you go on Twitter to register something, it's very rare you can give them an alias. These days, nowadays, if you didn't tune into a social media thing a long time ago, nowadays you almost got to give them everything when you get on there. Required. They got the red dot saying this is required. We need your last name. Required.
That's right.
So anyway, he's a jerk off, and he lost a good job. He was the.
Well, they said that after the investigation, it was his wife that did it.
Well, but it's him putting the information.
Right.
Just like Trump. I don't think Trump types his own tweets.
Yes,
he probably got some little young. Please, are you kidding me? No, he's a billionaire.
I'm not going to debate this.
He's a billionaire.
Yes, he does. Because that's what he loves doing. He gets off on it.
You think he types that?
I'm telling you, he gets off on it.
Oh, Redwine, we've been through this before.
I know we have, and I don't know why you don't believe that he does that stuff.
If I was a billionaire, I wouldn't be putting my thumbs to nothing.
That's because you don't care about that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be.
He is so deeply involved and engrossed.
You're changing the narrative.
With that bull crap.
I'm saying I wouldn't put my thumbs to anything as far as labor. Somebody would be doing stuff. People would be shining my shoes, wiping my ass if I was a billionaire.
Okay.
If somebody's wiping my ass, then why would I be doing my own
That's
food?
like billionaires who cook their own food because they love cooking.
My question
They could
is
hire 100 chefs, but they do it themselves
why would
for the love of it.
Why would I send out my own tweets when somebody's already wiping my ass and brushing my teeth?
Because he loves it.
Oh, Redwine, you're so out of touch.
You're in fantasy land.
Anyway.
If you think somebody's running around with him at 3 or 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, somebody's right there beside him on Twitter.
Why not? He's a billionaire. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway.
Ketel. Ketel, are you there?
Yeah.
If you was a billionaire,
Don't ask her this.
How
would
you know
somebody
I'm
be
not?
wiping your ass?
With
somebody?
Wouldn't there be a lot of things that you would not be doing?
There's a lot of things I would be doing, though, with all that money.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, would you be in front of a stove cooking yourself a snack?
No, my chef will be cooking it.
Thank you.
I said everybody's different. People do what they enjoy doing.
Oh, Redwine, she's so out of touch.
Anyway.
And remember, this is the one that agrees with, the burlap sack on the Miss America pageant.
I didn't say burlap.
Yeah, you did. Nice. I got a nice blue burlap sack.
The issue I had with what's his name, Caligula.
Oh.
Is that he's letting his wife take the hit for this, and he's saying they're saying, well, she had to have gotten information from you, and I'm assuming,
of course,
if you come home and you're talking about these players, they do this, they do that, I'm sure he said stuff and told her stuff, but he's coming out talking about, well, I did it because I was defending my husband and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. So is this for real, or is she just taking the hit about all of the stuff that he did? It just makes me wonder. It doesn't seem quite right to me. So, I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep it moving. Yeah, I got him on the kiss it list. Should add his wife, too, but I'm going to just leave it at that.
All right.
Is it me? Okay. South Carolina manager has pleaded guilty to beating a black worker and not paying this man for years. Now, this is this guy named, this is a crazy story. John Christopher Smith is the black man who suffered in silence as his manager from a South Carolina restaurant physically abused him and forced him to work over 100 hours a week without pay. Now, the black man who was abused, his name is Bobby Paul Edwards. He's 53. No, I'm sorry. The black man is John Christopher Smith. The white guy who was taking advantage of him, his name is Bobby Paul Edwards. He's 53. He used violence, threats, and intimidation on the black employee who worked at the eatery in Conway, South Carolina.
What?
Conway.
Wow.
He hurled racial epithets at him, beat him with a belt, hit him with pots and pans. And this week, Edwards pleaded guilty to at least one count of forced labor in these incidents, which allegedly happened when he managed the restaurant between 2009 and 2014. Now, Mr. Smith has disabilities, intellectual, mental, whatever disabilities, and he was afraid of losing his job. So because of that and his mental disability, Edwards used all of that against him, had him stand in some little back room behind the restaurant. He would burn his bare neck with hot tongs to make him work faster, beat him with pots and stuff, punched him with his fist, hit him with a belt, all kind of stuff to make this man work faster. And the reason why it got exposed is because one of the regular customers started noticing all these marks on this brother and knew that this man had, some mental incapacity and was wondering, what's going on? How is he getting all beat up, scarred up, burned up? What's happening? And he reported it. So investigators came in there, and that's how the whole thing got exposed. So this man was basically running like modern-day slavery against his brother. He beat him, intimidated him, called him everything but a child of God in his name, and didn't pay him, had him working like 100 hours a week. This is insanity. This is slavery. So the NAACP got involved, and right now this guy Edwards is facing up to 20 years in prison when he gets sentenced. He's also facing a $250,000 maximum fine and mandatory restitution to the victim. So it's still not been determined if or when he will be sentenced. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one, but This guy, Edwards, Bobby Paul Edwards, he's on the kiss it list. Just a beast, a brutal beast, trying to be a slave owner.
That's just crazy. Make sure we put him on the kiss it list 10 times over.
Yeah, I'm going to put him on
that's
there.
That's ridiculous. That just doesn't make any. I mean, you wouldn't think modern day stuff like that is going on like that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they were saying that between sex trafficking, forced prostitution, this kind of stuff, this stuff goes on all the time right here in the United States, let alone in other countries.
Wow, crazy. All right, we'll keep it moving.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a little story. Back in the day, they used to gang war in Philly, where I grew up, and in lieu of my safety, my parents would send me to visit my uncle every summer in Florence, South Carolina, back in the country. And Florence was not that far from Myrtle Beach, so we would go to Myrtle Beach, you know, some days for entertainment or the weekend or whatever, just as a family outing with my uncle, my aunt, and my cousins and all. And down by Myrtle Beach, right next to Myrtle Beach, was a little town called Conway, which is where that happened at.
Oh.
So I hung out in Conway as a little boy. Conway was a little small town right there by the beach that black folks dominated. I actually knew some people in Conway, some friends I had from being down with my cousins year after year in South Carolina. And there were two different entrances to Myrtle Beach back in the day. One was called Myrtle Beach, the other one was called Atlantic Beach. And that was a little staircase that led to stairwell that led down to the beach where the black folks were. We went to Atlantic Beach, and the white folks went over to Myrtle Beach, which after a while you're both in the same damn water, so what kind of sense did that make? But anyway, make a long story short, now Conway has all kinds of luxury condos and everything else now because white folks have infiltrated Myrtle Beach like nobody's business. They got golf courses and everything else up there. You wouldn't even recognize it now based on back when I was up there maybe in, I would say, 1975, 74, 73, you know, back when I was maybe 13, 14, 15 years old. And the whole culmination, when I hear people talk about an area that I used to visit as a kid where Conway was predominantly black, and now it has all kinds of skyscraper buildings that overlook the beach, because Conway is the backdrop of Myrtle Beach. And now you couldn't even buy a house in Conway unless you got some kind of deal or some type of timeshare or what have you. But I just want to elaborate the fact that as a young boy, I spent time in that very same town of Conway, South Carolina, so I'm very familiar with that area. So anyway, that's my story on that.
Okay, interesting.
But it's so sad how and obviously this man was being abused by one of the, you know, the old school white men, you know, who racism was no big deal to them, you know.
Yeah, this
that's
guy's
their
only
way.
53.
Exactly, right.
So
well,
this is some stuff that's been handed down.
His mental deficiencies, you got to figure, why is he working? What is the guy providing for him? Maybe provide him a little apartment somewhere on the property.
A room in the back of the restaurant.
Exactly, right.
He let him stay
and
there.
you got to figure what is in it for him. And he thought that if he was going, I will kick you out. You had nowhere to live. You know, to put somebody under some kind of torture like that just so you can maintain, because the man being a mean ass, he had no other employees to rely on anyway. So therefore, he was a meanie. And I mean, it's just deep. You know, like I'll talk about it here in a moment. But we still got another.
Yeah, Ketel, you got the last one. What you got for us?
Okay, maybe something on a better note. Because I'm telling you, this stuff is just getting crazy, getting out of hand. The crazy stuff that people do. You wouldn't think in this time and age. A future astronaut, a daughter, healing from loss, win top honors from Library of Congress. Kosha Haynes, 10, wrote a letter to Margaret Lee Shetterly, author of Hidden Figures, the story of the African-American woman who helped win the space race, letting Shetterly know her book solidified Kosha's decision to become a NASA astronaut. So Riley Page Johnson, 13, wrote a letter to Gabrielle Zevin, author of Elsewhere, thanking Zevin for helping her heal after the sudden death of her mother. So the letters, each a thing of beauty, were part of a Library of Congress writing contest that invites 4th through 12th graders to write to authors and let them know the impact of their work. Close to 47,000 students from across the United States entered this year's contest, which began a quarter century ago. So out of those 10,000 of letters, Akosha and Riley each brought home first place wins. Akosha, a 5th grader at St. Thomas, the Apostle School in Hyde Park, won the 4th and 4th through 6th grade division, and Riley, a 7th grader at the Dwight D. Eisenhower Junior High School in Hoffman Estates, won the 7th and 8th grade division. So their letters are night and day, one born of sorrow, the other born of joy, but they share in authenticity and richness that speaks to the ability of books to guide us through life's various triumphs and trials. Wow.
Very good.
Okay. Some young entrepreneurs.
So this young lady is inspired, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I know everybody has seen the movie Hidden Figures. Taraji, I think that's one of her best movies that she's done so far. But,
yeah, I never got around to seeing that. I'll have to see that movie one of these days.
Oh man, that's a keeper. You know how they say you can get it on DVD or tape or whatever? Yeah, that's a keeper. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, I'll have to put it on my list of eventually.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all of our Hit It and Quit It for tonight. Let's see. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to let Prince take us out. Yesterday was Prince's birthday. Had he still been with us, he would have been 60. So,
wow.
Happy birthday, Prince. We still miss you. And yes, we're still listening. Looking for new music coming out in September. A new release, rather. Not new music, but a new release. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with, what are we coming back with? With What's Poppin', with Poppa DD on the Pajama Party Show. Be right back.
Curious poses, they feel the heat between me
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm your host, Poppa DD. I'm your host, Ketel. Yo, Ketel.
Ketel's over there jamming.
Hello,
I'm
I
here with
sure
Ketel.
was.
Hey.
I'm here. My bad.
And Redwine.
Happy birthday, Prince.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, he look good to be 60, boy, if he was still with us. I'm telling you. Woo.
Yeah, we lost some great ones. I heard a little documentary. I'm still eating some beets. They're so good. Do you eat beets, Ketel?
No, unless it's on a salad. Enjoy your beets.
I don't know about you and Redwine.
All right, so let me break this all the way down and find out what's popping tonight, Poppa DD.
Well, you know what's popping me tonight. I just want to put it out there. I'm gonna put it out there. I think that in some point we have to come to the conclusion. At least me, anyway. I'm not gonna say we. I have to come to the conclusion like, where you are in your life. You know, does your age and maturity match your activities? Are you paying attention to the right things? Are you listening to the right things? Are you doing the right things? You know, are you staying informed of what's going on? You don't have to be addicted to it, but do you really know the basics of everyday? Now, I mean, sometimes I could be watching ESPN for a couple hours, and I may have to click to the news so I don't be so engulfed in something that's not going to give me the news. You know, the world could blow up, and ESPN will still show me highlights of, you know, the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. So you'll never get it from there. So saying that as an example, we have to make sure that we tune into a lot of markets that are there for the people, you know. Like as far as XM radio is concerned. You know, XM radio is something you can get a subscription of, you know, and not very expensive. They send you the equipment, everything. Show you how to hook up. You put it in the house, the car, everywhere. You know, and this is continuous play music of wherever you go. If you travel or whatever you do, you ain't got to worry about no radio, no CD, no tape or nothing. You got different stations to choose from. I'm not advertising for them, don't get me wrong. But it does cut back on things that you know, that you can do or more stuff you can listen to. Has different programs, solid shows that have different people, personalities, especially on Urban View, where it talks about a few things. And you can get everything. Anything you can get on TV, you can get on XM Radio because the channel there for it. Everything from CNBC, CNN, you name it. Everything, sports channel, everything is on there. You know, and as far as Urban View, has a guy on there at noon. What's this guy's name? The African brother. Godfrey. He's the guy that played the pilot, or the co-pilot on Soul Plane. With if you remember Soul Plane, he played Soul Plane with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was the pilot. Remember they were eating those mushrooms, those drug mushrooms. Well, the co-pilot was an African dude named Godfrey. Godfrey has a show from 12 to 1 on Urban View, and he's a mess. He puts it in. He gets it in. He's also a comedian. He goes out on tour and things like that. Not to mention Al Sharpton's on there at a certain time. In the morning you have Joe Madison. Just different people. You have Redwine's boy. His name is Armstrong.
Oh, don't even try.
Armstrong Williams. Anyway, but just to get off that beaten path, I'm just saying the fact that if you get a new car that has XM radio in there, when it's due to expire, renew it. Subscribe to it. Give it some time. Don't just cut it off and let it come with your car's new deal. Let it go on for a minute, for a year. You know, it may cost you about $14, $24 a month for a year. Per month for a year or what have you, and see what's up with it. Play with it. Go to channels. You know, get what the channels have to do with whatever you're into. Soul music, old school, 60s, 70s. My favorite station is Soul Town, where they play everything. You talking about oldies back in the day. Oh, man, Soul Town. And the groove. The groove is good. and they got watercolors and urban. It's like I said, I'm not advertising at all, but sometime in your car, you don't want to be, the whole commercial thing with these local radios is just like, it's getting old. I listened to my XM radio was out for a couple of days. I was forced to listen to the radio, and I was like insulted. And like I said, it's my opinion, but I was insulted because I wasn't informed, I wasn't hearing, I wasn't knowing. And on that same level, we have to pick up on new things as the time goes on, a year goes by. Let's pick up on friends or redefine friendships with people you already have, and find out what friends you need to kick to the curb. Because this is your life. And remember, you're totally based on the people you hang with or hang out with, and stop having sympathy for people. People are always shiftless and fucked up. After a while, we got to cut that umbilical cord and keep moving. At least me, anyway. I'm speaking for myself. It's not like I'm perfect or anything like that, but hell, I need to get around people that's a little bit better than me sometimes to show that, see what they're doing. If they're positive, they show me some real stuff. And don't be afraid to ask questions to anybody when it comes to people. Whoever's doing what you're doing that you like, you see, whatever, ask them. They can either say, yes, I'm going to tell you my business, or no, I won't tell you my business. So I just think that we need to understand that life is out there for everybody's taking. And in order to better yourself, we need to look at things. Stop looking at people's hairstyles and shit like that. Ask them real damn questions, not girl, where'd you get the nails done, or girl, where'd you get your hair done? But damn, girl, how'd you afford that fucking car? Or damn, how'd you afford that nice-ass house? Or who's your accountant when it comes to your taxes? Because you seem to always get back a damn income tax check. So, just strike the thing a little stronger, And one more thing I want to say. There's a station on cable called Axel, AXCL. It's a music channel. I think it's EXCX or something like that. It's on, at least it's on the Files Network, but anyway. But it's a different music. They show concerts and things like that. If you get the opportunity to go on YouTube or whatever, if you pull up Madonna has a concert tour. It's really a conglomerate of all her concerts merged into what looks like one concert, but it's really through the years. And to watch Madonna in some of her theatrical scenes, how she does her songs, her whole sexual nature to things, but not sex, but her whole sexual flavor towards stuff. And she had a song she did called Sex, and on stage she had 6 beds, and it had like a guy and girl in one, 2 girls and another, 2 guys and another situation and another. And during the song, they were all just like making moves. It was some crazy shit. And I was like, wow. Madonna has always been innovative as hell with Strike the Pose and you name it. She's got some deep stuff. She has some deep stuff. She's an innovator. If you look at some old Madonna concerts, just pull up Madonna concerts on YouTube and watch how, because every song she does in concert, she has a story with. She has costumes with. She has coming out of ground, coming out of air. She's an older woman now, like Prince, 60, her, Michael Jackson, Prince, they're all the same generation. And, but people can talk about her children. One of her daughters calls her old and ancient or what have you, but, that little knucklehead, she's rich as hell because of her mother. But anyway, it's amazing how people in their 60s, and the last thing I want to say is that I also seen a documentary the other day on Luther Vandross, as well as George Michael, which was incredible. So between all those people, Madonna, George Michael, Luther Vandross, we just been blessed with just incredible people. So anyway, that's it for me.
All right, then. Just dropping wisdom bombs tonight.
I just, seeing a lot of things.
I can dig it. All right. Well, it's time to lighten it up a little bit. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Ketel, before we lighten it up?
No, you got it. Let's lighten it up. I'm ready to laugh.
All right. Well, we're going to slide right into the weird news segment. And I have the first crazy news story. I've got Minnesota woman's nasty obituary. Kathleen Demlow died May 31st in Springfield at the age of 80, and the obituary submitted to a local newspaper by two of her children made it clear that she will not be missed by them. Her obituary, which appeared in the Redwood Falls Gazette, begins with the usual information, including her date of birth, her marriage to Dennis Demlow in 1957, and the two children that she had with him, whose names were Gina and Jay. Then it takes a sharp turn. It said in 1962 she became pregnant by her husband's brother, Lyle Demlow, and moved to California. She abandoned her children, Gina and Jay, who were then raised by her parents in Clements, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Shunk. The obituary then read that Demlow will now face judgment and will not be missed by Gina and Jay, and they understand that the world is a better place without her. That was rough.
God.
So, as you might expect, the brutal death notice has gone viral, with most people just plain shocked and some wondering on social media why the newspaper allowed it to be printed. So the Gazette's general manager told Huffington Post that the family paid for the obituary to run, and that she would not address whether or not it caused a debate in the newsroom. So at least one of Kathleen Demlow's relatives thinks that she is not getting a fair shake. Dwight Demlow told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that the facts as related in the obituary are true, but that there was a lot of other stuff that was missing. So Dwight, who would not specify his relationship to the deceased, said the sad thing is that there's no rebuttal. But it was more to it than that. It wasn't quite that simple.
Wow.
So those two kids that she kicked to the curb and married her brother-in-law and ran off and whatnot, those two kids said, sayonara, we're not sad about it. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was. And they're going viral. Wow.
Yeah, but that's how they felt about it. What can you do?
Well, that's a
All
true
right.
thing. What can you do?
Very mother ain't a mother.
Yeah. All right, over to you, Poppa DD.
Mother for you.
I got
Yeah. Go ahead, Papa.
liquid poo rain. Liquid poo rains on a woman and son sitting in the car. A woman in Kiloa, British Columbia, is haunted by an experience she had nearly a month ago when she was sprayed by liquid poo. Susan Allen said that on May 9th, she and her adult son were sitting in their car at the stoplight when the feces came pouring in through the sunroof.
Oh, gosh.
She quotes, while we were sitting there, our car was inundated with liquid poo falling from the sky.
Falling from the sky.
Allen told this global news company, I had it on my face, down my shirt, my entire car, and the vehicle beside us were all covered in it. Allen said she and her son, Travis Sweet, watched the extreme falling as a large passenger plane flew overhead. The actual sensation of crap hitting inside their skin was something Travis and her mother would never forget.
Wow.
First, he said they felt a cold sensation hit the side of their face and shoulder. Then the smell of it hit their nose, he said. I almost vomited instantly. It was terrible. Administrator for Transportation Canada told her the government department would investigate the possibility of frozen laboratory waste called blue ice falling from an aircraft, according to the Global and Mail newspaper. The investigation is still ongoing. Allen claims that as a result of the feces rain, she now has a conjunctivitis in both eyes.
Oh my God, conjunctivitis.
Conjunctivitis.
What's that, like pink eye, right?
I guess it's like gingivitis. Must be a cousin or nephew or something.
Pink eye.
I feel they should compensate me for my injury, she said. When and if. Oh, what if we had let go? What if we had swallowed a big chunk of it? And what if it went through my son's head and killed him? And what if it came through my head and killed me? Alan told the CBC. This could be a much different circumstance than just poop in my eyes, you know. So they said that they would, anybody who responsible that wants to help with the situation by helping her find a good lawyer or whatever, and she left contact information with the newspaper and what have you. So.
But how is she trying to get all this money based on saying what could have happened? Because if it didn't happen, if it didn't hit her in the head, it didn't knock anybody out, if it got in her eyes and ruined her car, then I would say go for charges, reimbursement for that.
Are you serious?
But I'm saying, how do you say that? Well, it could have hit my son in the head, and this, all these things that could have happened, but that's not what happened.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. How do you go after somebody to say, I'm suing you for what could have happened? Because does that even stand up in court? I'm asking the question.
Well, let me tell you something. When you sue people, you go for the kahunas, okay? You go to rip the testicles out of the body, all right? And if you end up with just one testicle worth of redemption, then so be it.
But isn't it based on what actually happened?
Loyalty.
Not what could have happened. That's my question.
Hold up. It's not about loyalty, love, religion, goodness, or how your mama raised you. When you suing somebody's ass, you going for. First of all, you sit at a stoplight and plain shit falls on your head, and now you're gonna be godly about it. You're gonna say, oh well, I just want to get my car washed. I just wanted to. I
was asking a question.
This is how you sound.
Ketel, help me out. I'm asking a question.
Crucify her. Crucify her. Don't help her out.
If you get in a bind like that, and you start saying, it could have done this, it could have done that, but if those aren't the things that did happen, and when you go to court, do you just go to court for the things that did happen? Or can you actually go after them for money for things that might have happened?
Of it.
I'm going to give you a prime example on that, what could happen with Halle Berry and her first husband. Now, they divorced, but he sued her on her potential of what she was going to make later on, and he won, even though he was signing a bigger contract than her. She wasn't even a big actress then. She wasn't in big tickets. She wasn't even making $20 million a picture at that time. But her potential of what she was going to make, he sued her for that, and he got it. He won. So, yeah, it can't be done. It is
but
what
I'm
it
talking
is.
About, I'm saying when it's bodily injury involved, if I'm in a car accident and it's the other person's fault and I end up with a concussion, but then I sue them because I say, well, I could have ended up dead. I could have ended up in a coma. I could have ended up with, my arm could have fallen off. But what happened was I had a concussion. I can't sue you because I might have ended up in a coma.
Nobody's talking like that. The word that all this stuff you're saying, they put that all in one word. It's called punitive. Punitive is the whole thing in a nutshell. You could sue somebody for the reason for doing it. Now your punitive damages is going to be $100,000 for all the what could have been,
so
because
that's
that person
is suffering, right?
Exactly
Okay.
Same thing. All the stuff that could happen. Now just say somebody take one of those that little doo-doo, and they put it on a T-shirt on the dining room table as an example, and after 20 minutes that T-shirt starts to burn. Now what if you was knocked out? And that doo-doo started burning on the back of your T-shirt before the police came and got you, because the first one hit you in the head and knocked you out, like she's saying. All this stuff could happen, and none of it would have happened if the doo-doo didn't come out of the sky. So now I'm suing you because the doo-doo came out of the sky. It has nothing to do with what happened, what didn't happen.
Okay. I wasn't arguing that it wasn't fair. I was asking the question of how does that work?
And you know one thing, let me say this one thing.
Because it just seems like, well, really, how far can you go?
But let me say one thing, too. In a car accident, what a lot of people don't realize, when you have a car accident or your car gets hit traumatically or your car gets banged by the side or whatever, people have to understand that your mufflers and your catalytic converters, they're like thermos bottles. Remember the thermos bottle back in the day? Mm-hmm. You take to work with the coffee, but what happens when you drop it?
Oh, yeah.
Now that little inside breaks. You can't see the glass because it's inside the tubing. Mufflers are made out of the same thing. A lot of people don't realize when you have a car crash, in most cases you got to change your exhaust system because your exhaust system has the very same thing in there. It has a silicone area in there that the emissions goes through one way and this goes through that way and everything. Anyway.
Okay.
Redwine's trying to shut me up. Anyway.
Let's keep moving. Well, I have to tell you one last weird news. Auto theft suspect arrested with monkey clinging to his shirt.
A monkey.
As arrests go, this one was bananas. When deputies in Pasco County, Florida, arrested Cody Blake Henshin on Friday after he allegedly drove a stolen car into a ditch, they were shocked to discover in a compliance, a what? A capuchin monkey clinging to his.
What are you saying? An accomplice?
No, it's a type of monkey.
Oh, I don't know.
A capuchin monkey clinging to his pink polo shirt.
Okay.
So Henson, 23 of Holy Hill, was arrested while fleeing the scene, and that's when officers noticed his primate companion, who was named appropriately enough Monk. Okay.
Of course.
Henson told officers that Monk was 3 years old and he had owned him since the monkey was 3 days old. He also said the animal came from a breeder in South Carolina and claimed there was no licenses or permit required in that state. However, Henson didn't have an exotic animal permit for the monkey. So the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission took the animal into custody and dropped Monk off at a nearby private sanctuary. Henson has been charged with auto theft in a different jurisdiction, a felony. He remains behind bars on $5,000 bond. He could face additional charges for not having the exotic animal permit. Wow.
So they took his pet monkey?
They took his pet monkey. He's been having him since he was 3 days old. Oh, wow. But he was clinging on his leg.
I bet he was.
Just like the damn snakes in the car. I don't think so.
Yeah, that was crazy, too. I heard that one earlier in the week.
Yeah, that crazy stuff don't make no sense. Okay.
Well, if you want to join the conversation, give us a call, 914-803-4306, and press 1. Let's see. I'm going to keep it moving and go right into I'm Just Saying, because I'm going to talk about your boy, 45, his latest antics. I got to talk about it. So, is that cool, Ketel? Let me go right into it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Let's keep rocking and rolling.
All right. Well, I'm just saying tonight, my question is, who does that? And I'm talking to you, DT. Who does that? Now, there was a lot of controversy over something that should have been real simple and straightforward. In previous White House administrations, the winning sports teams get invited to meet and be honored by the president. And it pretty much should go without saying, right? But not with this president. This time, he invited the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, shout out to the Eagles, and had the program all set up, including a military marching band and all. But when the Eagles started saying that many of them were not interested in coming and planned not to attend, Trump pulled back the invitation. Now, I don't know if that was to save face or what, but bottom line is that ship had already sailed. Now you just look pressed and juvenile by uninviting the team after you heard many of them didn't want to come see you. It's like trying to quit a boyfriend before he quits you just so you can say you broke up with him first. I mean, really? I'm just saying, who does that? Then he turned the program into a military music program and stood up there trying to sing along to these military and patriotic songs that he didn't even know the words to. So now he's standing up there looking crazy again. I mean, who does that? DT? Come on, 45? Who does that? I just really have to wonder, is he so self-absorbed and non-self-aware that he thinks it's everybody else and not him? Even when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady claimed that he had some family obligation and he didn't go to the White House. And there was a portion of the team that went, but Tom Brady wasn't there. And Tom Brady is about as Republican as you can get, and that says a lot. Now, last year when the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship, Steph Curry had been openly criticizing Trump about everything that he's been screwing up, and Trump rescinded their team invitation. Again, I guess to save face, I don't know. Trump tweeted that Curry hesitated and that the invitation was a great honor, so now it's canceled. You know, that's the kind of stuff he tweets out. Again, who does that? So if he thinks that people don't like him and he plans to keep revoking invitations to get back at them, that is just so juvenile. You need to grow up. You know, I mean, is that like a discipline measure? I don't know. Here's what he doesn't get. Nobody is that pressed to come and shake his hand and have a photo taken with somebody that they don't admire, they don't trust, and don't respect. When the 2017 WNBA Minnesota Lynx won their championship, they didn't even get an invitation to the White House. So I guess size is important to this president. He wants to go after the so-called big fish. I wonder if that's why he listened to Kim Kardashian and pardoned the great-grandma this week. I don't think he can handle all that booty up there in the Oval Office, and he was losing his mind. He probably would have done anything Kim asked for. Good thing she used her booty power for a good cause. So I'm just saying, now that the Washington Capitals have won the Stanley Cup, and shout out to the Capitals. Took them 40 years, but they finally got one. And you know they only have one black player. His name is Devontae Smith-Pelly. And he's already said before they won that if we win and if we get invited, I'm not going. He already said that. So now that they won, he says, no, I'm not going to the White House if we get invited. So I wonder if Trump is going to rescind their invitation or if he'll even extend one to them. My guess is that he will because the majority of the team is non-black. So I'm just saying again, who does that? The answer is 45. He does that because he's petty that way. I don't know. I think all of this is just going to bite him in the butt eventually, but we'll see. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying, grow up, 45. Stop having Twitter tantrums. It's unbecoming to the office that you hold, and you're just embarrassing yourself and the rest of the country. Give us all a break. Just grow up.
Okay, that was a good one. All right, Miss Redwine.
I'm just saying. All right, we will move on into living for the city. I got to cool down. Stuff gets me worked up.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
That orange-haired man. Anyway, what you got for us tonight, Poppa DD, living for the city?
Well, I just saw advertising for a movie called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, boy.
Two things that I hate that I see every time I go anywhere, ants and wasps, and I got a can of rave for both their asses. Anyway, living for the city tonight, I want to talk just for a minute. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this because I'm trying to get a friend of mine to come on the program and let's interview him concerning his bout as millions of other people of color with high sugar diabetes, borderline diabetes, and things of this nature. So we can speak on that and inform the people of what they need to do, how they need to change their life. It's not a major change, but it's an awareness change. It's a label reading change, because this change will save your life, and it's becoming very prominent, that all the sodas and juices of the world are just totally polluted with sugar, just like nicotine is on cigarettes and everything else is out there that's just not good for you. And we really there's not a lot of ways to battle that, because everything has sugar in its own way. And it's almost like a damn game of Russian roulette of you trying to choose the right things to do or the right things to drink or to eat. And it's a battle. The battle trying to keep your sugar down by avoiding sugar is an all-day process. You're constantly reading labels. You're diluting stuff to cut back on the sugar, and so many things involved. And I have a good friend of mine who's battling diabetes and has been for years. And we're trying to get him on the show probably next week if we can, and interview him concerning his battles and relative battles, and the things we should do, and maybe some foods we can eat, some fruits we can eat, some nuts and things, whatever is necessary to keep things down at a certain level. Because everything has to be at a certain level. Because diabetes goes in so many different forms and affects you in so many different ways, and if you let it go, it starts to attack your organs and things like that. And many people have passed on from it. Case in point, Luther Vandross, and not to mention many other people. So we're going to get on that campaign and start talking about that series, all about diabetes, borderline diabetes, high sugar, and and then you got the other aspect where you got the high blood pressure, which is the other aspect. So, but we'll take one thing at a time. We'll go with the high sugar and diabetes, and then we'll go over to the high blood pressure. So just to let you know some things coming up on the show.
All right, Poppa DD.
All right. Thank you. All right, we're going to take a little CC. We're going to take a little CC. We're going to keep moving. Yes, take a little CC.
If you're ready, let's keep it moving. Let's get on the West Coast and see what's going on.
All right. Yes, ma'am. I will do. All right. As we talked about earlier, the big topic about Anthony Bourdain. Unfortunately, that was the big news for today. That was breaking news. CNN confirmed that Bourdain's death on Friday and said the cause of death was suicide. Unfortunately, he was 61. Anthony Bourdain, a gifted storyteller and writer who took CNN viewers around the world. They go on to say, it is with extraordinary sadness we can confirm the death of our friend and colleague, Anthony Bourdain. His love of great adventure, new friends, fine food and drink, and the remarkable stories of the world made him a unique storyteller. His talents never cease to amaze us, and we will miss him very much. Bourdain was in France working on an upcoming episode of his award-winning CNN series Parts Unknown. I mean, everybody watched that. He was with his close friend, Eric Rippert. He was a French chef. He found Bourdain unresponsive in his hotel room Friday morning. Yep. So it goes on to say also Bourdain was a master of his craft. Through this TV shows and books, he explored the human condition and helped audiences think differently about food. He really did. Along the way, he received every award the industry has had to offer. In 2013, the Peabody Award judges honored Bourdain in Parts Unknown for expanding our palate and horizon in equal measure about food. So he will truly be missed.
Yes,
even the Smithsonians once called him the original rock star of the culinary world, the Elvis of bad boy chefs. Wow, everybody talks about him. But I mean, that's a big issue. They do talk about the suicide rate. This is the 10th leading cause of death in the country. And they do have a national suicide hotline, 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-TALK. And that's a 24/7 hotline, 365 days out the year. So, also on another note, you guys are familiar with Chris Farley? Remember the comedian Chris Farley?
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
He was on Saturday Night Live. His family is suing a company called Trek over name of fat tire bikes. So the family of the late comedian and film star Chris Farley has filed a federal lawsuit against Trek Bicycle for naming its fat tire bikes Farley. Allegedly, the Wisconsin-based company misappropriated Farley's name and is profiting on his Fat Guy brand of comedy. Chris Farley, he was born and raised in Madison, about 30 miles from Waterloo, where the company is based out of. His company, Make Him Smile, a company founded and run by Farley's family to protect his publicity and property rights, said damages could exceed $10 million. Trek said any damages were purely speculative. So I'm like, hey, you can't do stuff like that without folks getting paid. Just say, come to them and be honest about it and say, look, we'll give you XYZ amount of money. They're going to either say yes or no. You can't do stuff undercover.
Yeah, get permission. What's the problem?
That's what I'm saying. People are going to try you. Also, on another note, the fashion designer, I know you've heard earlier, Kate Spade, she was found dead. She was only 55. Spade's body was discovered by a housekeeper at her Upper East Side apartment. They also said her husband, he was home at the time of her death. So it must be a big house. Maybe he didn't know what area of the house she was in. I'm not sure.
Wow.
It goes on to say we are all devastated by her death. Spade, who was an accessory editor at Mademoiselle magazine, launched her company with husband Andy in their apartment in 1993. She started the company based on 6 shapes of bags that she said that she thought that every working woman needed. She's also the sister-in-law of David Spade, the actor.
Right.
So, I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah, okay. And she opened her first store in New York City in '96. She's won all kind of accolades, awards, and also too. So she was in over 140 retail shops and outlets across the U.S. and more than 175 shops international. Wow, she is truly going to be missed. And on the last note, there was a settlement between the rapper Birdman and Lil Wayne. I haven't heard from Lil Wayne in a long time. He has been in an ongoing lawsuit with Birdman's record label, Cash Money Records. Wayne was promised an $8 million advance for recording the Carter 5, which is a album he's supposed to be coming out with, an additional $2 million after the project was done, but didn't get a dime and wanted his contract with Cash Money terminated. So they finally came to an agreement. He got his $10 million. The project was released, and the rest is history. Long story short, that's all, folks.
Okay,
that's
then.
my Hollywood
all right,
wrap-up for tonight. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for the Hollywood wrap-up.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And our sympathy goes out to the Spade family and the Bourdain family.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on with that mental health. It really is.
Yeah.
You think people
Give that number
on top
out
of
one
the
more
world?
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think people are on top of the
again?
world, but they're not. 1-800-273-TALK. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
that's the number to call.
Somebody
You need to.
for the suicide hotline. Yeah, right. So you can talk to anybody 24/7, 365 days out the year. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time for the cocktail of the week. And I've got one for you tonight. It's called the Bourbon Lancer. This is a real simple one to make and very tasty. It's made with 2/3 parts of bourbon, whatever kind of bourbon you prefer, 3 dashes of bitters, champagne, and a slice of lemon. Real easy. So you want to fill a highball glass with ice cubes. Then you add the 2/3 parts bourbon, top it with champagne, garnish it with a lemon slice. Simple drink, very tasty. So I recommend you give it a try. If you never tried a bourbon-based drink, you might want to try this one. I think you might like it. That's the Bourbon Lancer. And we'll put that recipe up on the... Yeah, we'll put it up on the website. Should be updated by tomorrow on apajamaparty.com. You can click on Cocktail of the Week and get the recipe. All right, Poppa DD, can you tell the people about the world-famous Kiss It list? What's that about?
Time to really put people on blast.
It is.
Everybody to show their butt hiney. And is it short tonight?
Yeah, I only have a few. I'm sure there's more, but we're just going to call out a few. Am I starting off? Okay. I've got Scott Pruitt for running up all that money and acting a fool over at the EPA. We have James Alsop. That's that white nationalist that just got elected to some kind of GOP position. We have Kelly Sadler, the White House aide who left after she was disrespectful with regard to, John McCain.
Yeah.
We also have Brian Colangelo, who is the ex-now president of the 76ers. I think he's throwing his wife under the bus, letting her take the hit for what he did, but it is what it is. Also, that guy Bobby Edwards, who was enslaving that brother down in South Carolina in Conway, who has a mental disability. I hope he goes to jail for a long, long time for what he did.
And that's one of the original property owners down there in Conway. That's why he still got his little BS store. Because they ran stuff down there anyway. It's just a mess. That's why I don't know why people are moving down to South Carolina and all that golf crap. Because that area is so racist.
Hey, they like it. Also, we got Trump, just for all of the mess he talks, unnecessary tweets. I do want to call him out for some tweet he made about Serena Williams. He said some comment about Serena is intimidated by the beauty of what's her name? Sharapova? Maria Sharapova, the other tennis player. I'm like,
that's
what?
Why she dropped out of the
really? They're talking about she's intimidated by her beauty. I'm like, why is the president of the United States even talking about
the French
this?
Open because she's intimidated by the beauty of.
Oh, please. That's why he stays on the Kiss It list. You got anybody, Poppa DD?
I don't know. I wasn't going to go in on Oprah, but I'll leave her alone.
Okay. Ketel, you got anything?
Don't talk about my girl, Papa.
I don't like to take on their...
I'm
taking too much real estate.
You got Scott
taking
Pruitt?
that real estate. Yeah.
Who you got, Ketel?
Scott Pruitt, you got him?
Yeah, I got him.
And James Alsop?
Got him.
Okay, all right. And then the guy, Bobby Paul Edward. Okay, you got him. I guess everybody's covered.
All right. Well, here's a prize for everybody on this week's Kiss It list. Enjoy.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh, you can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you
Okay, we're back at the Pajama Party. I'm Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
And me. Bonsoir.
Oh, okay, bonsoir.
We're gonna wrap it up and get to this last word and get on out of here. We got
All
clubs
right.
to go to.
All right now.
Who's up first, Poppa DD?
Yeah, I'll go first.
What's your last word?
My last word is, I just, like we were talking about earlier with the health and comfort segment, if you come in here with different situations we got to do with people's health and all, let's tighten up on that, and I'm just hoping that I wasn't going to be able to Oprah at all, but I just wish Oprah could build her own library in D.C., build her own big, beautiful building. That way the people that go there will be dedicated to your cause, and to your fans, and you can put whatever you want to put in there, 4 or 5 floors of everything you got. But the Black History Museum, save a little space for other people. A lot of people came out before you. No disrespect. Different man.
Okay. Well, I just want to say, again, happy birthday to Prince. Still missing you, but still listening to your music every day. Because that's what I do. I'm a dedicated Prince fan. Also, shout out to the Bourdain family and the Spade family and their loss. And it's just not just their loss, it's all of our loss. I love Kate Spade's bags, I had a couple of knockoffs of her designs because I couldn't handle the straight-up Kate Spade. But I did have a couple of knockoffs, and I love those purses. So I just want to just say check us out online at apajamaparty.com. And shout out to the family. Everybody who's convalescing, hope you get better soon. Over to you, Ketel.
My last word is about mental health. That's one of them. I guess we just have to stay vigilant and let's just be aware of mental health, especially these police officers out here. I believe they need more training as far as dealing with someone's mental health. I'm not saying be a social worker, but they just have to be more sensitive to each situation that they're dealing with. Everybody's not a criminal, and just take time with people. I mean, conversate with them. Don't just grab them and push them down and throw them down, handcuff them, and then, talk. Talk to them first. But, who am I? Also, I want to give a shout-out to, I have some family in town, especially Nikki. I'm going to get you, Nikki. You beat me in cards, and I'm going to get you back. That's all I'm going to say. My family from North Carolina, shout out to them. Hope they have a safe trip back tomorrow, and love you guys. I'm out. Ketel.
All right. Well, this is the Pajama Party Show. We do this every Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock on the West Coast, and you can fill in the in-between. We just want to thank you for listening to us. Shout out to DC Homegrown, our parent company. They pay the bills, keep the lights on, keep us on the air. We appreciate that so much, DC Homegrown. I guess that's all. So we'll be working on those health segments coming up to try to enlighten and share some information with our listeners, who we appreciate so very much. And until next Friday night, visit us online and tell some folks about us. apajamaparty.com. You can visit us there. We'll do it again next Friday night. Say good night, Papa.
Good night.
Say good night, Ketel.
Good night.
And this is Redwine.
Good night, Redwine.
Bonsoir. Until next week. We're out. Peace.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of jazz.
Well, I say when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Pajama Party, grown and sexy, throwing a party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, grown and sexy, throwing a party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, grown and sexy, throwing a party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, grown and sexy, throwing a party. Pajama Party Crew.